Hey guys, Zamar Massey here again today with a review of A Million Ways to Die in the West. This movie is the funniest movie I have ever seen in my life. If you're somebody who gets really easily offended, don't see this movie because it's going to offend you. But if you want a movie, and it's rated R, and it's definitely gets that rating for a reason, but it is the funniest movie I've seen in my life. Like, it is easily the funniest movie ever. And it's made by Seth MacFarlane, and he's in it with Charlize Theron. I think that's how you pronounce her name. And usually I'm not super impressed with, like, Seth MacFarlane. Like, Ted was alright. Like, a lot of people loved Ted and thought it was this big, amazing movie. And, like, there were definitely some funny parts in that movie, but I wasn't, like, super impressed by it. And Family Guy is good, but it's not super awesome. But this movie was hysterical from the very beginning, and like some people gave it kind of like iffy reviews, like William Johnson, Jeremy Johns said he wasn't like super impressed with this movie because to him all it seemed was like Seth MacFarlane complaining about why the West sucks and all these different ways that you can die in it, and I don't understand why that's a bad thing because that's what made this movie hysterical. Like this whole movie just shows different ways on how people died in the West, and like every time it happened, it was hysterical. Like, that scene that they have in the commercial where the ice block falls on top of the guy, like, that scene would have been funnier to me if I didn't see it a billion times in the commercials. Like, that was a really funny scene, and I laughed really hard the first time I saw that in the commercials. So I didn't laugh as hard at that scene in the movie as I would have if I hadn't already seen it. But the rest of the movie was great. Like, I loved it. Neil Patrick Harris was hysterical. Charlize Theron was hysterical. Liam Neeson is in this movie as the bad guy, and he's pretty funny too. Like, you really don't usually see like kind of funniness from Liam Neeson in movies, and so like, okay, he was the bad guy, but like a lot of the stuff he did was still funny, and I don't know, it was every actor in this movie was great, and I loved it. I can't say that enough. It was so funny. Like, I want to go see it again just so I can remember things to quote, and it was super funny. A brief little synopsis of this movie is just Seth MacFarlane saying, like, his life sucks because he lives in the West. And the reason Charlize Theron's character comes into this town is her husband, Liam Neeson's character, is like one of the roughest, toughest people in the West, and they want to take over this town, and he wants people to go check it out before he goes in so he can know all the ways to take it over. So he sends Charlize Theron in, and she comes in, and she as soon as she comes in, there's this big bar fight, and Seth MacFarlane's character runs across the room and like saves her, and she starts liking him and hanging out with him and becoming friends and all of that. And so that's like this whole movie is. Yeah, that's what that is. And she's going to teach Seth MacFarlane how to shoot because out of stupidity, he challenges somebody to a gunfight, and his character is supposed to be a coward in this movie, and so he like delays it, and he wants to do good in this gunfight, and she's like the best shot ever, and so she's teaching him, and that's what this movie's about. It's super funny. Yeah, go see this movie. I would say it would be a really awkward movie to sit in with your parents, but if you're with like your best bros or best gals if it's a bunch of girls, or just like a bunch of people, this movie's kind of aimed towards like, I don't know, this movie's aimed at everybody that likes comedy. Just don't see it with people that get easily offended because this movie's not for them, but it's so funny. So yeah, I'm going to give this movie a 10 out of 10. Go see this movie, guys. It's awesome. Alright, if you like this movie, or if you like this review, not movie. Wish this was a movie. If you like this review, hit that thumbs up button. Hit subscribe if you want to see more. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down button. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you guys thought about this. Alright. Have a good one, guys.